Hello fellow crafters and welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. Now, basically to give you a really short rundown about this game, basically I think it's self-explanatory. You're a car mechanic, you take apart cars and put new parts in it. That's exactly how it's done. So before we get this video started, I want you guys to let me know whether you want this to be a series or not. And if you want it to be a series, leave a like down below and leave a comment telling me what I should do next in this game. So with that out of the way, how about we get started by taking off all of these car panels, not all these car panels, I'm already not making sense, all of these body panels. Now the funny thing is, I see most YouTubers, it takes them a really long time to take apart one of the cars in this game and put them back together, and I should also say this, I probably play this game way too much, so yeah, basically, I've seen some YouTubers that take an hour and a half to completely take apart a car and put it back together in this game. We're gonna see how long it takes us. So currently, let's look at my recording software right now. Currently, the timestamp is 1 minute and 29 seconds. Let's see what that is by the end of this episode. Or I shouldn't say episode, I should say video. But yeah, before we buy new panels for that, we're just gonna go ahead and restore the frame. Because to get rid of that much rust, it only costs less than $2,000. Because that's exactly how it works. And already looking much better. It's quite funny, I've memorized this car kind of up and down because I've worked my way up to this point in the game, so I've just kind of gotten used to how the parts on some of the cars in this game, and I completely memorized a lot of them, at least for this car. So we're just gonna get some rims for now, essentially. It's Rim Retro 12. There we go. Now what we gotta do, let's go ahead and just put every single body panel back on. You see that? That's looking better already. Now what we gotta do is we gotta take it to the paint shop, and we're gonna, let's see, what should we paint this? Let's paint it a baby blue kinda, so but yeah, the paint shop, I don't know why I feel like explaining this now. The paint shop basically can adjust the saturation, the brightness, and the hue, and is that the right color we want? I think so. Let's see how that turns out. That turned out perfect. And now the important part comes in, where we take apart every single thing off of this car. And with the engine of this one, it might take a little bit, but it shouldn't take me too long. And a failed recording, I tried recording this car, but my recording software just derped out, and I wasn't bothered to set everything up from the beginning and fake it, so I just finished that one. So and then I found another one in the auction center for this video. So basically, I think last time I did this, it took me 30 minutes to complete the whole thing, so let's see if we can actually beat that time this episode. If we beat that time, that will be awesome. I keep saying episode. If you guys want this to be a series, and want this to have more episodes than this, you tell me, because to be honest, I'm just doing this as a little fun experiment because I really like playing this game for some reason. Now, of course, if you're a car person, this game doesn't go into, every single detail about the motor of a car, or really all of the parts of a car. It doesn't have, the vacuum setup, or it doesn't have, really any of that kind of stuff, but anything you can think of that's kind of metal, essentially, and that's a big part of the engine, then this game has it, as well as the suspension parts too. This is the tedious part about this engine. Basically, the game has it sectioned off. I think it has it sectioned off in a few different engine types. There's i4, there's i4 SOHC. I should probably actually look up what that stands for. I'm a noob with car stuff, alright? But then there's V8, there's V8 OHV, and then there's i6. So overall, it has a few engine types, and this one is the V8 OHV, and the thing about that one is you just saw it there, but I didn't really talk about it. I don't know why, but basically it has, let's see, 16 rocker arms and 16 valve push rods per engine head. I almost said per engine head. I don't know why, but yeah, it has 16 of those per engine head, and yeah, you have to do this for every single one. Each rocker arm, anyway, is held in with one bolt, and you have to do that for all of them. And then you have to pull out all of the push rods. I also gotta say, this game exaggerates a lot of the titles of certain things. It's not just a shock, it's a shock absorber. And it's not just pistons, it's piston with concord. So if I sound kind of weird throughout this video actually pronouncing all the names, it's just because I'm pronouncing them the way they're said in the game. But yeah, as I said, this game does have its nice bit of detail. It has all the suspension parts, it has the brakes, it has all the gearbox parts. I mean, it has quite a bit of the, it goes into quite a bit of detail in terms of a car. I don't know the right way to format this. I should just shut up. And of course, one cool thing about this game is it also matches up the certain suspension types with like the certain generations, because, you know, most of the time, I should probably shut up, because a lot of some more recent cars have used some of these types of suspensions. But, you know, it matches them up well, and a lot of the older cars in this game that, like, want to make you think its generation was, like, in the 50s or 60s, it uses the leaf spring suspension, so, and then, of course, on all the modern cars in this game, they use a much newer type of suspension. I forget the exact name, but it uses older types on the right generation, which is nice. I also want to say another really cool thing about this game. They always update it with DLC, essentially, and the DLC is always cheap, too, and it's good DLC, too. But the one cool thing, really, about the DLC is, like, right now, I have the Old Timers DLC, which adds the Moloch. Is that how you pronounce it? I think so. And then I also have the Tuners DLC, which also adds the tuning shop. And I have a couple other DLCs that I'm probably forgetting, but the cool thing is, recently the new Performance Pack has come out, a new DLC called the Performance Pack, and the cool thing is, once you add that to your game, it will add performance parts for the Moloch, and it adds performance parts for all of the DLC cars, which is nice. So DLC, it's weird to say, but DLC works on other DLC. It's pretty interesting. I also want to take note of this. You can actually restore and sell all the cars you get in the game for money. It's almost like real life in a certain way. They have an auction center in the game where you buy really, really beat up cars for cheap. You can this is later in the game, by the way. Once you get enough experience to unlock the parking garage, which I believe is like 15,000 experience, I want to say, and like $50,000. But once you get that parking lot, you can go to the auction center and you can buy cars, and then basically completely restore them, and then you sell them for profit. Isn't that nice? And with this last little bit, the car is completely disassembled. Now it's time to buy everything in the shop. And I literally mean buy every single thing in the shop. And as I said, I play this game way too much. I literally know exactly what the names are and how much of something to buy. And of course, if you're gonna buy everything in the shop, don't forget the brakes. By the way, I just noticed something after purchasing all this stuff. They really tweaked all of the part prices in the shop, because I remember when I got this game on Steam, it was a lot earlier of an update. These piston with Concords right here, you can see they're $80 down there. When I first bought this game, it was hard to replace pistons when you were starting out in the game, because back when I got this game, one piston used to be $500. So, they definitely made that aspect a lot easier. And one thing, if you start playing this game, one thing you know you'll need a lot of is rubber bushings. I'm not even kidding. Alright, I think we have absolutely everything. Wait, no we don't. Okay, now we have absolutely everything, right. We can start reassembling this once again. I think we have everything now. Okay, I just realized one thing we don't have. We don't have an alternator. Now we have an alternator, though. By the way, I gotta say, I already expect myself to be recording longer than I did yesterday with that failed recording. Because one thing you kind of learn being a YouTuber, if you have a failed recording, and you remember some of the stuff you said in the first video, it's almost weird. Crap, I need that too. It's almost like having a script without a script when you have to record the same video a second time, mainly because this time, now that you've practiced the game once, and practiced recording the game once, now you know what to say. It's almost weird, but then you start to know what to say after you've recorded one game for a little while. And this is what I was talking about when I talked about rubber bushings. See, this front piece here requires 4 rubber bushings, so I recommend that if you don't know the amount of rubber bushings you'll actually need, just completely spam buy them. I probably bought like 20 of these, and I definitely know I don't need 20. And with this last little piece, there is the front suspension. Okay, never mind. I love how I was so confident in that too, like, it's done when it's really not. Anyway, now with the tire on, that's the front suspension completely done. And with this wheel being on, we are now 3/4 of the way to completion. And with this, now all we gotta do is just put the oil pan back on the car and put some oil in it. And yes, of course, that is the one aspect of the game that they chose to completely simulate like real life. You cannot move this car anywhere. You can't even move it to the paint shop or the what is it called? You also can't move it to the path test or the paint shop or the parking if the car does not have oil in it. And it figures that would be the one part that they completely simulated. And there we have it. Our restoration is complete. Now, this looks awesome. I've restored a few of these in the game, but I gotta say, every time I restore one, it impresses me, because this game seems to make the condition of these cars in the game the worst out of literally every car in the game, basically, when it comes to the auction shop. But, in the previous recording, the car was worth $7,000, so I assume this was around the same price. Let's see how much it's worth now. I'm missing parts. Right, now I got those parts back on, now let's see how much this car's worth. $67,000. Wow, that is almost a 10 times profit. I've almost made 10 times the amount of money that I bought this car for. Well, that's nice to know. But anyway, again, if you guys want this to be a series, leave a like down below and leave a comment telling me what you guys want me to do next in this game. And also, if you're wondering about that timestamp, we're currently at 29 minutes in the recording, so I actually beat my previous time, which is nice. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe to become a crafting lord. This is Crafting Lord 21, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay crafting, my friends.